The third week of Donald Trump's hush money trial ended with testimony from former aide Hope Hicks. The former White House communication director testified that she traveled with him, quote, almost every day, end quote, during his campaign. The prosecution's questioning focuses on the infamous Access Hollywood tape. Hope Hicks recounted her reaction to learning of the Hollywood tape. Hicks recounted her reaction to learning of the tape through an email from former Washington Post reporter David Fairnhold. Hicks said she was very concerned about the tape, though she had only read a transcript of it at the time. She forwarded Fairnhold's email to others in the Trump campaign, urging that they need to hear the tape. Hope Hicks told the jury that Trump downplayed the conversation heard on the tape. Trump faces 34 felony charges related to allegedly falsifying business records in an attempt to hide hush money payments made to Karen McDougal and adult film star Stormy Daniels while he campaigned for president in 2016. I'm going to go to my panel on this, but I just have to say, I covered this story here in Detroit for 910 AM WFDF. I was a talk show host on the station at the time, and I actually was the first one on the station to talk about this story. And when I first heard this story, the first article I saw about this was from rawstory.com. I said, this sounds like a election interference case where money is being paid to keep a story out of the headlines so it won't impact the election results. I'm going to go to Teresa on this, who is a communication strategist. So Teresa, what's your take on this is conclusion of day 10 of this hush money / election interference trial? What's your take so far?
Well, I think everything's coming out to the light. Trump has done these deeds, and now we're finally facing the light. I think on the communication side of things, the Trump campaign is probably in an uproar right now. Every day that Trump is in court, Joe Biden is out, on the campaign trail. He's meeting with families. He's talking to unions. He's making speeches. He's doing his job as the president of the United States. And so, as we get into the weeds of it, now we're back at Stormy Daniels in the case. But having, Hope Hicks, who's, amongst other Trump individuals who's been a part of the case, has tried to redeem themselves in name and has been working on doing various commentary on other broadcast platforms. But we're seeing that, it's kind of like the red light was on the wall. And so she wanted to do, her job in the comm space to let them know, like, hey, you might want to listen to the details of this because we're not being fed all of it. That way you can make and process the right communication strategy. So, yes, she was doing her job, but I also think she don't really know what she signed up for. And so she was trying to give the heads up. Now she's on the stand trying to tell everybody else, hey, you might want to, help us along here and listen to the full thing yourself.
Absolutely. And one person who has been spilling the beans on basically everything that's been going on is Michael Cohen as well, who was Trump's fixer, as Michael Cohen describes himself. So Cameron, what's your take on this? And you were a senior advisor in the White House as well. I take it was the Obama administration, right? I think you're muted. I can't hear Cameron.
I hope it wasn't the Trump administration.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Both in the Biden White House and on the Biden 2020 Harris campaigin. I was actually. Yeah, we were
the Trump campaign. Wasn't the Trump White House? I just want to make sure everybody knows that. Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't know who came in to do that. No, I would say this. I think we're getting closer to the actual crime. I know this is good theater, good TV, and people are just trying to there's been a lot of interest in tuning in, but I think I don't want the theatrics to get lost here, that a crime was committed, that they did falsify records. I mean, they had over 34 counts against Trump just on this hush money trial alone. And I also don't want to downplay and don't want the media or people to downplay the seriousness of a crime such as this. But I think having a Hope Hicks, who was admittedly and as one of the most closest advisors to the president during the campaign season, and during that, to be able to fully come forth and testify. I mean, it's just lining up time and time again that Trump's complete disregard for the law, Trump's complete disregard for the authorities, or even election laws and how to move his money and so forth. Like that, it's lining up. But I just really hope that it's not lost on the American people, or as they may hope, take what comes from this trial, and then that impacts how they decide to vote in the fall. That, like, we literally have a full-blown criminal who is admitted to more criminal acts that he wants to do in the future, on trial for president. So to that point, I'm really glad, and I've really been tuned in every day on this.
Okay, excellent. And also we know that Judge Merchan hit Donald Trump with a $9,000 violation for violating the gag order. According to NBC News today, Donald Trump paid that on Thursday. The $9,000 fine. He used a cashier's check, paying one amount of $2,000 and another of $7,000, and it was paid to the court clerk. I'm not sure how many pairs of those ugly gold sneakers he had to sell, or how many of those Trump Bibles that he's never read. He should start reading the 10 Commandments. I'm not sure how many of those he had to sell to raise this $9,000. But this is. I think this is a clear line in the sand drawn by Judge Juan Merchan, that if you cross this line, there are going to be consequences, and you can end up sitting in jail, whether it's an hour, whether it's a day, whether it's a week. What are your thoughts on this, Teresa?
Yeah, I mean, we all should be following the law, especially those who aspire to run for the president of the United States. I'm always interested in the talking points that the team comes out with. We've heard that this has been a witch hunt, when really it's only a witch hunt if you didn't commit these crimes, which you did, right? You did pay Stormy Daniels off. You did pay, Michael Cohen off. He was your fixer. And now that people are doing a tell-all, and because Michael Cohen didn't get his attorney general position, they're all out for blood. So it is what it is. You don't take care of your people. Right. You commit crimes, and then you want to run for public office where your job is to serve the people with integrity, then this is what happens. So if you have to pay the fines, right, if you have to, go to court, if you have to be, you're the most famous person in the U.S. and probably internationally, license holder in terms of their name, Trump name being a household brand. Right. We have to make a mark, and I think in history, and I think we are doing it with this case. So whatever it may look like in terms of election cycle, I think we got to keep the pressure up, hold people accountable and show them that this is not the right way for us to govern in the United States of America. Absolutely. Well, the reason why I would call it a witch hunt is because they keep finding witches.
Fanbase is pioneering a new era of social media for the creator economy. This next generation social media app with over 600,000 users is raising $17 million, and now is your chance to invest. For details on how to invest, visit startengine.com/fanbase or scan the QR code. Another way we're giving you the freedom to be you without limits.